carnivore sounds really restrictive. What do you say to people that say that?
I think when you hear the word restrictive, it's a sort of a different definition. I think when people, it's like the diet thing, people say, oh, you're only eating red meat and eggs. First of all, it's like when you start eating this way, you don't want to eat any other crap. So it's like, for me, that's not restrictive, but I'm aware that like society is a bit different. Sounds harsh, but I was watching like some of the people just sort of like eating their sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Some people having beers on the train.
Like an experiment almost.
And it was interesting because, like, you know, for example, there's a couple of people having beers on the train. They were dead like rowdy and loud and happy, and then half an hour later, they were like, one of them was asleep.
Yeah.
That's what carbs do. In the short term, you feel amazing. You feel great. I've got this energy, and then literally you just go.
Let's take the average person per week. If they do their shopping, they might be spending something like, I don't know, between 40 and 60 quid. Do you think it's realistic for someone to go fully carnivore and eat till they're full for that price or less?
Well, you know, you'd be surprised. I mean, I think that like,
welcome back to Dr. House Podcast. A lot of people say the carnivore diet is pretty boring and it's not very varied at all. However, I've got someone who is going to challenge that today. He's regarded as a godsend for people who have just joined carnivore and don't know how to cook properly on it. He's regarded as a weirdo by people who don't understand why just eating meat can be very healthy for you. And he may even be regarded as controversial by people who look at carnivore recipes and don't like certain ingredients in there, which we're going to talk about today. Hopefully the light is enough for this not to be too dark. A few hiccups today, but we're here now. So all the way from Instagram, Coach Carnivore Cam. Cam, thank you very much for coming.
How are we doing, guys? All right. Make sure to look in that camera.
No problem. So I think before we get into things, obviously you're very well known for a lot of the amazing things that you do with food, which are very surprising to me as well, which is how I came across you, in fact. I want to get you to say to the viewers how you ended up here. I think it's going to be a relatively similar story to a lot of carnivores who had health problems or weren't seeing progress in certain things. They switched over and things are much better. Could you give us your version of that?
Yeah, so I mean, as long as I can remember years now, I've been into like sort of optimizing my health. Tried many different things. You know, I've tried different diets, different ways of eating, different ways of living. And I eventually stumbled on, you know, carnivore. Did a lot of research because for a long time I actually didn't eat meat.
So you were a vegetarian?
For many years. Well, I would say I was a pescatarian. So from like 2016 to about 2020, I just mainly had like fish and eggs. Didn't eat red meat, chicken, pork. I didn't feel too bad, you know, because I'm, you know, active, train a lot, all this sort of stuff, and obviously fairly young. But like, I hit 2020. I decided to go plant-based for a year.
Wow.
I'm that sort of guy. So when I try and do something, I'm like, right, I'm gonna go all in.
I tried it for a week and I had.
Really, fair one. I tried it for like. Because at the time I was thinking this was around like Game Changers time.
Oh, the documentary.
This you probably know.
Yeah. I saw that.
It was very much like, sort of like anything green is like good for you.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, red meat.
I felt for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think a lot of people did, especially, you know, because I've been a PT for years as well. I've worked in the fitness industry for a long time, being a coach. It was around that time. It was kind of like anything green is good for you, and like even when I was eating meat, a steak was like a Friday night treat.
Really?
Yeah, it was like kind of like, I'll have steak on a Friday, but all the other times it was like chicken breast.
Stuff with less fat, basically.
Yeah, chicken breast, tuna, it was that sort of thing, salmon, whatever, fish. But yeah, tried that for a year, and then my health just like pretty like deteriorated quite a lot. I mean, it was more like the amount of food I had to eat to like to maintain a certain level of nutrition. And after that, my body was just craving red meat. I just felt it. And after that, went straight back into the red meat. But it was like, I was doing a lot of fasting too. So, I mean, it was like, my lifestyle was pretty good because I was doing like maybe 2 meals a day. Based around red meat, eggs. And then I was adding like bits of like veg in there, potatoes, broccoli, things like that. And slowly started to sort of taper into sort of a carnivore approach. The more research I did, the more it made sense to me that like, we're designed to eat red meat. And the fact that technically there are no essential carbohydrates, I decided to eventually try it in January 23, full carnivore. And no carbs, and haven't looked back since, really. So, so yeah, since then I've been pretty much full.
And no regrets?
No regrets at all, no.
And so when you did that, you know, what's your history with food? Because obviously a big part of your social media presence now is showing what can be done with food in carnivore and showing how creative you can be with it. Were you like that when you were a PT? What triggered this sort of move?
When I was a PT, yeah, I've always been like, because when I started, when I was probably like getting into the gym, maybe around 17, 18, I was relatively healthy, but I went through what we call a bulking stage.
Yeah.
So you probably know, don't you? When I was like 19, 20, I was just wanted to get as big and as wham as possible. So I just started nailing the hard gainer protein shake.
Mass gainers and things.
Oh, mass gainers, like I had my meals were like frozen potato waffles with like just loads of sauce and shit, just anything I could get. I was like, I just wanted to get as big as possible. And I got pretty huge. I was like 15 stone 10 at one point. Well, I was pretty big.
At 19?
And that 21 probably, something like that. But then I just started to feel, I mean, I look back at pictures of myself now, I just look terrible. I just started to feel really bad. So,
in terms of health?
Just health, yeah. I was just big and heavy and just felt bloated and just sort of, I was thinking, I'm 21 years old. I'm thinking like,
what are you doing?
I'm so young. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But I sort of switched that from there. Then I started to focus mainly on whole foods. So I was like doing a lot of, just like whole grain rice, like I said before, chicken. And a lot of the water weight kind of came off because I stopped eating processed food and all that sort of stuff. That was a big help. But yeah, as the years went on, I was like sort of fairly health conscious and always been interested. A constant student, researching the game.
So it's kind of like a slow process.
Yeah, slow process. Yeah, it took a while. I mean, like, it's not like, it didn't happen overnight. It's taken a long time. And I think that's what health is really about. You've got to go through these journeys to see where you eventually end up. And now obviously I'm more of the carnivore approach. I call it more like a lifestyle. Because obviously, and I tie it into sort of like obviously with the food, the recipes and stuff I do. It's more, I think it's more of a long-term lifestyle, because when you hear the word diet, carnivore diet, I think people just think
it gives the wrong impression.
Exactly.
I completely agree. Like when people see that, they think, okay, what can't I eat on that diet? No, it's not about that.
It sounds restrictive.
And actually, your account shows it really isn't.
No.
And we'll get to certain foods as well. So I just want to double check. So you weren't a chef at any point?
Never been.
No. Okay, so you just grew into it yourself naturally.
Yes.
So, okay, I want to go through some of the most common questions about carnivore food, carnivore lifestyle. I'm sure you've been asked before, but I think it'd be nice to put them all in one video for people. So the first thing that people say, you've already alluded to it, carnivore sounds really restrictive. I think just looking at your Instagram shows that's not the case. But what do you say to people that say that?
I think when you hear the word restrictive, it's a sort of a different definition. I think when people, it's like the diet thing, people think, oh, just you're only eating red meat and eggs. Well, I think the thing is, it's like, first of all, it's like when you start eating this way, you don't want to eat any other crap. So like, me personally, I don't see it as restrictive.
Same.
Like I'm on that sort of like, that wavelength where I could eat like amazing meals like once a day like I do now. And they're incredible. I mean, I post my main meals all the time as well. And
I've seen,
they're unreal. I mean,
it makes me hungry.
Yeah, exactly. And I can eat a lot in one go. So it's like, for me, that's not restricted, but I'm aware that like society is a bit different. Like people have families, they have like things that, things that get in the way or whatever. But like, so that's why, I started with my brother. Obviously James is a lot more sort of like, he likes into the recipes too. So we started sort of like doing that sort of approach together. We think, how can we make sort of like recipes that are like, I guess say carnivore friendly.
So Jay, who's the better chef out of both of you?
Oh, it's me.
Definitely. Oh, you both agree.
Yeah. It's not like he's cooking it all. I'm like just chilling. Yeah.
Okay, so he's directing you.
Yeah, but
if anything.
But James, he doesn't like. He doesn't like. Yeah. He doesn't like to take the credit. He's just like me, but like he was a big part of it too. Sort of giving me inspiration as well, and sort of talking with it, working together on it. Because I think he's a bit more of a foodie than me. Obviously, we have the business together. We sort of work together. But yeah, then we started coming up with all these recipes, thinking like, actually, these recipes are unreal. Like they
taste not restrictive at all.
No, they taste really good. Like pizzas and burgers and ice cream. And obviously, of course, like it depends what your definition of carnivore is.
And we'll get to that. Yeah,
exactly. Because I think there's so many different definitions.
Like you have,
and there are. There must be about 5, 6, 7 different definitions, depending on what you think. So
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
I think restriction. I think that's relative. Based on how you do it. And I think also what people don't realize, you said something really, really important, which is something I say to my patients all the time clinically, which is when you give them the idea of what this is, this lifestyle, they immediately think, yes, that's restrictive. I can't have this, I can't have that. But what you don't realize is you're saying that from perspective where at the moment you're having it and you have a craving, because that's what carbs do. They're sweet for a reason. But then when you eat this way, you don't want it anyway, even if it's available. Like when I eat till I'm properly full, which is not easy sometimes if I'm on the go and I'm teaching all day, something like that. If I do eat till I'm properly full, you know, I'm a sugar addict, I'll be honest. I love ice cream.
I heard what you said with Rachel. You know, I was quite surprised. I didn't realize that when you said that, you were like saying, you know, you were quite open about it. You just said, I am.
I don't recommend it, but I'm fully fledged sugar addict. I've got a problem.
And
if I do eat till I'm properly full, but you put my favorite ice cream in front of me, I don't want it. And I never thought I'd say that, because there's always been room for dessert. Like I remember at university as a student, I used to go to Wagamama, like with friends. I used to get 2 desserts, 2 mains, and 2 starters, 2 mains, and 2 desserts. So you could eat for 2 people.
Easy.
And everyone would wonder where I'd put it. But I used to do a lot of sport, so I never got fat. But when you realize that that's the way you end up, where if you eat till you're properly full, you don't want those things you're asking about now, then you realize it's not restrictive, because you can have it if you really want, but you don't want it. And that, I think, is really hard to imagine for people. They can't imagine only eating once a day. They can't imagine not having that. Do you think that's the problem? Do you think they've never experienced it?
It was funny, like, you know, just on the train down here, you know, it's like, I was watching, I mean, like, you know, it sounds harsh, but I was watching like some of the people just sort of like eating their sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Some people having beers on the train.
Like an experiment almost.
And it was interesting because, like, you know, for example, there's a couple of people having beers on the train, and like, they were dead like rowdy and loud and happy. And then half an hour later, they were like, one of them was asleep.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what carbs do. I mean, like literally they in the short term, you feel amazing. You feel great. I've got this energy. And then literally you just go,
And this is, I think, a big problem in athletes as well.
Yeah, huge.
Because you do that and you get some sort of boost or whatever. Yeah, and it's not right. But yeah, so restrictive, I think that's answered quite well. The problem is people aren't aware because they've never tried it.
They've never, their whole life has been 3 meals a day, 4 meals a day with snacks. They're so used to just having this roller coaster all day, and then, you know, that's it. You know, they're not used to having sustained energy.
That roller coaster is the glucose level.
Yeah, totally.
And when it doesn't go back to normal, when insulin is there to push you back down, it goes below normal to make you eat more.
Totally.
And because that's the way we've been programmed pretty much all our lives, we can't imagine it any different. And so, I think it's fair to say what people should expect is there's the cause, the roller coaster, and that's why you feel the way you feel. You've got to constantly eat, you've got to eat carbs, whatever. But if you take that away, you've got to trust that you won't feel that way. And it's a leap of faith, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, a lot of people in today's modern society, they want that short-term gratification.
Yeah.
And I think the thing is as well, it's like, like anything, it's hard. The first starting point of anything is always hard.
Yeah, absolutely. The first step is the hardest to take.
I'm sure you've had plenty of people say to you, I've had plenty of people say to me, mate, I'm struggling the first 2 weeks, a week in, I'm struggling. And I think it's all varied. I think depending on where you've been before, if you come from a really bad sugar addict background, carbs, you'll feel it more. Yeah. I think some people breeze through it. I think some people...
I think so. I think it's a mental thing. Like,
if you are mentally strong, you'll... Right, I accept that I'm probably going to not feel great.
And you can't beat yourself up.
No, you can't.
Yeah. And I think another thing that I would give to, just to advise people who are watching this, you've got to think about, well, as you go through life, think about it as a series of decisions. Now, if you look at yourself now and you look at a picture of someone who's the body that you want, and you think you could have that, or you could stay as you are, they can see the effort and they think, I've already got this, it's fine. But then if they show you a body that's far worse than yours, like terrible, and is about to die because it's so big, and they say, you're going to end up like that unless you do something, you're more likely to do something.
Absolutely.
And so the negative, and this is coming into game theory now, but the negative propels people more than the positive. And so when people come to this way of living and eating, etc., with a really poor health problem that basically made them question their whole life, I tend to find those people breeze through because they've been through so much worse. A craving for a pizza is nothing for them.
No, not at all. No. You realize that how, like, how a lot sort of, it doesn't matter the fact that, that you've got a bit of a craving for some sugar, man. Like, it's not
how minor is that compared to like a heart attack you had before?
Exactly. Like,
or gangrene or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to put life into perspective, haven't you? I think that but food is such an emotional trigger, man.
It is. It's dopamine at the end of the day.
It's like with social media, like I found it out. Like, I didn't know how insane it was for people, like how connected they are with their food. I mean, like I really found that out.
And I'm still in that way place.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still a sugar addict. I'm not completely carnivore.
Technically, aren't we all sugar addicts? If we're given the
by evolution,
yeah. I mean,
by evolution, yeah.
I don't think I'm not sure anyone, if you give them the stimulus, would not want to take the sugar.
I think I'm an acting sugar addict.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. But I think that it's because I think that it's hard because you can be as mentally tough as you want.
Yeah, but you can't reverse 5 million.
You're giving a birth. You're giving some cake. It's like, you know, it's hard. You know, even with like, you know, even with like good stuff. I mean, even honey. I love honey, but it's like, you know, for me, I can pick up and put it down. For some people, you know,
it's not possible.
They might struggle. But I mean, when the main thing I'll talk about, because obviously a lot of my recipes are all of them are all whole food recipe.
Yeah.
You know, they're designed to kind of keep you full in a way.
Right.
But like with the processed stuff, I mean, like sugar,
designed to keep you eating.
Sugar sweets. Oh my God, you can be as full as you want. Yeah. But you can always find room. Yeah. Dessert.
And I think that's my problem. That's why I used to eat so much, and I'm sure you were probably the same.
Yeah.
Whereas now I can't do it. Like if
I can't physically, tough. Yeah.
I can't force myself to eat more. Whereas if it was processed stuff, I probably could. Which, the ice cream and things.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Totally. So yeah, I think restriction is not an issue. So let's move on to, because if we're going to talk about recipes, I think it's important to talk about what we mean by carnivore. It sounds a bit pedantic, but I think for this discussion, it's actually quite important, especially when we're talking about our carnivore recipes. What do we mean by that? Well,
I mean,
I think, like you said, there's multiple definitions.
Totally.
Why don't we talk about what we both mean, and then we can define it for the purpose of the conversation.
So I think carnivore, and I'm not even a huge fan of the word, to be fair. I think because I think that it's more, for me, it's like eating naturally. I like to sort of put it
same thing, but it's a better way
exactly,
to say it, right?
Pretty better way to say it. For me, it's like carnivore means the majority of your plate will be red meat and eggs, for example, like, you know, like animal foods, mainly red meat.
So you're saying more than 50%?
Absolutely. I think probably like 70 to 80%. I'd probably say, I think, because I've heard some people say like 70%, if 70% is animal foods, then you're technically carnivore.
Yeah.
But I mean, then there's a bit of nuance, because would it all just be eggs? Or would it all just be cheese or fish? Or for me, I think carnivore is more rooted in red meat.
Okay.
I think red meat is, because it's the most important food, in my opinion. It's the most bioavailable, the most
completely agree.
Nutritious.
Yeah.
I think if you're having that always, like with every meal, and then you've got eggs are like the sidekick, because I mean I have tons of eggs.
You do have a lot of eggs in your omelets as well.
I do love my eggs. I eat a lot of those. So. And I just feel better when I have a bit more of a varied approach. I love raw cheese, because I find benefits for like the ferments for my gut, especially when I'm eating like once a day.
Okay.
You know, but recently I've been having like things like avocados and, you know, seasonal fruits sometimes I'll have. Yeah. I'm not super, like I used to be a lot more sort of like just red meat focused.
Yeah.
But I prefer just like having a bit things here and there. But the majority of what I eat is always going to be like red meat and eggs. And
so for you, probably about 70 to 80% is animal foods.
I think 70 to 75% animal foods.
Okay.
Maybe even 80%. I think if you're getting that in, then you are technically.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
And the reason I say 70% is based on, getting a little bit technical now, sorry, but based on Bendor 2021, which is a scientific paper that analyzed what people way back when, and I'm not talking 1,000 years ago, I'm talking a long time ago, what they were actually eating. And they broke it down everywhere, and they just made a huge list, and it just said carnivore, 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 carnivore. Couple exceptions, but it was pretty much all carnivore.
Yeah.
And they based certain criteria on that. And based on that, my personal definition, not the definition, but for me, if 70% or more of the mass that you eat is animal foods, then I would say carnivore.
Exactly, yeah.
And that does actually leave quite a lot of room for other stuff. So
absolutely,
I'm probably about, let's say 90% carnivore. On a bad day or week, it might be 80-85%.
Yeah.
My exception is just to be open for those watching. I have a can of Coke a couple times a week. I have
CBD carnivore card. I know, but
occasionally I'll have certain things with the meat as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Like a pickled gherkin, a bit of chili. Something like
I was having sauerkraut. I have some sauerkraut sometimes. Ferments as well, but they're always raw. They're always good.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I mean, man. Like, it's not a big deal.
No, exactly. And you can't beat yourself up. I'm like, I can have that, and I have my ice cream once a month.
Yeah.
But I don't.
And brownies.
Yeah.
I heard you say that. Yeah.
Brownies.
But you're aware.
Exactly.
You get it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'll have that, and I won't suddenly turn into a fiend where I start raiding gelato shops and eating it for the rest of the month. I have it once, usually in a restaurant with other people.
Yeah.
And when I have it, I'm still talking to them, and it goes out of my mind because I'm in a conversation.
Absolutely.
And so I don't really care about it anymore once I've had it. So those are my exceptions. Obviously, you've mentioned a few of yours.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of saying what carnivore is, so for today, let's call it at least 70 to 80% animal-based foods. That leaves that percent for some of the things that you've said.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like you've mentioned honey, you've mentioned avocado, things like that.
Yeah.
So let's go into the most basic food question of carnivore. What's the best way to cook a steak?
It's got to be rare, man.
Okay. Now, in terms of not in terms of the temperature.
Okay, right.
The physical apparatus, the instruments. What's the?
Oh, okay, right. Oh, yeah. Easy. Cast iron pan.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. It's got to be. I like to use ghee.
Okay.
I know tallow ghee. Or whatever.
Does it really make a difference? Like, is it tallow? If it's
well, ghee's got a higher smoke point.
Right.
So
and what does that mean for the? I don't know what that means either, by the way.
Oh, so basically, so when you turn the heat up to high, because usually obviously you want to cook it on a pretty high heat.
Yeah.
It means it's not going to. Everyone's not going to burn basically. So if you use butter, that's going to burn pretty quickly. Okay. And you don't want to be like, you can add butter in to baste it. So when you obviously pouring it over. Yeah. But tallow and ghee usually have a high smoke point, so they'll be stable at high temperatures.
Right. Okay. And what about dripping?
Yeah, beef dripping, yeah, same as well. Same sort of thing. That's tallow, basically. Same thing. So you can have lamb fat, you can have beef fat. Yeah. I just prefer ghee because I also like the taste too. Okay. It's a little bit of like a nutty texture, like sort of nutty taste. It's quite nice. It's obviously, I found that really good. Clarified butter, basically.
Yeah. And could you give us there's no sponsorships here, but just people watching and they're going to ask, which ghee do you use?
So I use one, what's it called, James? Happy ghee. Happy ghee, yeah. Is it Happy ghee? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Happy ghee or happy ghee. Yeah, so Coach Cam uses Happy ghee. Organic, all good. I just get that from like a farm shop. Okay. But I mean, I'm always going to make sure I have like, when it comes to like my cooking fats, because there are some, I've been to Costco, for example, they sell these big ones of ghee. Yeah. And they're not great. You can always tell by.
Why is it not great?
Well, sometimes they will actually have no added ingredients, but I've checked these before. When you actually check the ghee, it's like, it's very kind of, I don't know, can't explain it. It's very lumpy. Okay. And it's like very sort of liquidy and lumpy. Yeah. When you get a really good high quality ghee, it'll just be smooth. Okay. It'd be like butter, basically. Yeah, it'd be very smooth.
Taking butter out.
Exactly, yeah. And you'll be able to taste it. Like it's a very distinct taste. It's very, you will get a really good quality ghee. So if you are going to cook,
and I go up on it in India,
that's what I mean. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So
it's very tasty.
Steaks wise, always use a good quality oil. Okay. Cast iron pan.
Let's pretend, for instance, you got an average, say, 200-gram steak. Does it make a difference how much ghee you put in it?
I usually use like a big spoonful. I think that obviously the bigger the steak, you don't have to use a massive one, but I like to have the pan sort of.
Is it like a little pool?
It's like a mini pool. Yeah, it's a mini pool because you want to get
all base is covered in ghee.
Yeah, you want to get that nice char in it, man. Like so cover the pan in ghee. Yeah. Nice and hot. Stay it down, maybe a minute to the side. Get that nice crust on there, because I like my steaks like rare, medium rare, but I like a nice crust on it. Same with my lamb chops. I like them like sort of like with a nice little crust on them. I just prefer to eat them.
I like it though.
Because I don't know if you've seen, but like there's a lot of people like carnivore advocates who eat raw meat.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And your taste changes after you go carnivore.
I must admit, I tried. I didn't try completely raw, but like I've tried like basically just near enough raw, basically, pretty much. No, I like blue, but I mean like where it's basically just hardly even cooked.
Oh wow, okay.
And I just prefer the taste of actual cooked meat.
I think
it's better. Yeah. Salted up. I know there's some people who don't like salt. Yeah. I like the taste of salt on my meat. I think
I use different seasonings. I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm happy to accept that.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. So you can use seasonings, whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's part of my 30%, or 20%, 10%, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. It's whatever makes you feel good.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I personally just prefer salt on a steak.
Yeah. Any particular salt that you recommend or use?
Celtic sea salt, usually. Redmond's real salt. I'm actually not really. I know, again, because you go on social media now, you see like guys like who are doing like salt reviews and
I can't tell the difference.
X amount of
very minor.
There's X amount of lead in this salt and that salt. I'm just like, man, like
just enjoy it.
I'm not sure you'll be able to really get everything out. You know what I mean? Like I've seen like Saladino doing it a few times where he's like testing out the heavy metals in the salt. Yeah. And mate, I'm not really that
much.
I'm not asked. And I think like what you were saying before, like what you said when you did that podcast with Rachel actually like opened my eyes, because you just went, because I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
I don't think about it.
No.
So like,
and that's the key.
I think that's the biggest thing where people struggle. So people have been strict. Yeah. They'll go out for a meal and they'll think, oh my God, there's a potato there, or a bit of veg, or a bit of sauce on it. I shouldn't eat that. And because they've convinced themselves, I can't have that, and I'm worried.
that will then go. Fear comes up.
Totally.
This emotion.
And that will then go into their gut, probably.
Yeah.
And then they'll, obviously when the gut is disrupted, it'll be like, it doesn't know what's going on. So you'll probably get indigestion from that.
Yeah, just from thinking about it. Yeah.
From just thinking about it. That's how powerful the mind is.
Absolutely.
So the more you think about it, and I think that's the journey that people go on. I think that they eventually are like, right, well, you know what? I can actually eat this food.
And no one cares.
Yeah, I mean, I can have like a parsnip or a sprout at Christmas, and it's not going to, that's the thing.
Exactly.
And that's where kind of I'm at in terms of that, because I know there's a lot of hardcore people out there, and I get it because like that it's changed their life.
Yeah.
Like carnivores literally probably saved them from, I wasn't really in that position. I was always pretty healthy, even before I started full carnivore, I was pretty healthy anyway.
Yeah.
So I kind of had that grasp on it anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, when you've healed from like a serious chronic illness,
you're so grateful.
Yeah, totally.
It's almost like you're cheating on the lifestyle by doing something else so you don't want to. Yeah,
I've spoke to someone who's like who had terminal cancer.
Yeah,
I've seen that before. Like people who have had like terminal cancer and like completely in remission.
Yeah, DC Rebuilding on YouTube. Dave, he had terminal brain cancer, and he was told it was terminal 10 years ago. I think. I might be slightly wrong. Sorry, Dave, if I am.
Yeah.
He's fine now. He's got no problem.
It's insane.
But in terms of salt, does the granularity make a difference? You get some that's really fine, and you get some that are really coarse, like the sort of salt-based style. When it comes to the actual cooking of the meat, does the amount of surface area to volume ratio really make much of a difference to the nutrition or the taste?
I'm not sure it makes a massive difference to nutrition. I think that like because as long as you cook it like you don't absolutely cremate it, I think you're going to get like pretty much all the. I think I heard Stephen talk about the UK car. He talked about like sort of when it hits your stomach anyway, it's going to be all the nutrients going to be
so
like it's going to break down. So I mean like obviously it's going to taste a lot better if it's more rare.
Yeah,
I think.
No, in terms of the salt, so you think the granularity makes no difference? In terms of the taste?
I prefer finer.
Okay.
I prefer finer.
Does it make a difference to the cooking?
Not massive. I don't salt my steak up before I cook it. So
you put it afterwards.
I put it after. Which I've heard a lot of people say you should put it on before.
Yeah.
But I prefer just because I like to salt the taste.
Yeah.
I don't fully know until I've actually cooked it, if that makes sense.
Whether you eat it or not.
Exactly, yeah. So sometimes, I mean, I won't use a lot.
Yeah.
This will depend on like if I've, used I train pretty hard, if I've lost some electrolytes, if I've lost some, this sort of thing. So I don't like to, because I went for a period where it's like, I need the X amount of salt. I don't think you actually know how much salt you actually need.
Yeah, until you taste it.
I think that's what our taste buds are there for a reason. Yeah. To tell us, like, right, well, that's way too salty. But then you give it to someone else and they go, it's fine.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Totally. So,
you've got the ghee, you've got the salt. So in terms of the pan, why do you say a pan and not say a grill or a barbecue or something else that I haven't thought
of? Just because I haven't got a barbecue.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's not that. To be fair, I've grilled outside before. I've done barbecues. I do love. I mean, I love barbecued meat. 100%. It's just for me personally. I love the taste of it in the stainless steel when it's cooked in some fat. I just love that taste, man.
So you think the taste of the meat is different based on the instrument it's cooked on?
I think it will be. Yeah, you can always tell the difference between like barbecued meat and like if it's cooked on like a pan or.
Is that to do with the smokiness?
Usually smokiness, yeah. Obviously, you can slow smoke anything. You can slow smoke something on a a brisket or something like that on a barbecue.
Yeah.
Like if I know someone to have like chicken on a barbecue or burgers on a barbecue compared to like you just get that. I can't explain. It's like that sort of charcoal barbecue
that
taste,
charred taste,
which is amazing. I mean, like
I love it. Yeah.
I'm sure if I had that every day.
Yeah,
I'd just stick with that.
Yeah.
If someone offered me that or that, I wouldn't really mind. It's just how I do it personally.
Yeah,
fine. And I usually nail it pretty. Like I usually know now. Like I can just touch the steak and I'll know.
So you don't use a temperature gauge?
No, I don't use that. No. I'll be able to if I look at the steak and how thick it is.
Yeah,
I'll just be able to know fairly quickly and what it will be like. How long it will take me, and just like I'll use like the press test. I'll just press it, and if it springs back, or whatever, then I'll be able to know.
Fine. So. And then in terms of before the steak and the pan meat, steak's got to be a particular way, pan's got to be a particular way. Let's start with the pan thing, as we're already talking about that. So when do you know when the pan is ready for the steak to go in?
So I just get my cast iron, whack it on high heat, and I just get the ghee in straight away pretty much.
Yeah.
And then when it starts to smoke a little bit, that's when it's ready to go in.
Fine.
So when it starts to like, not when I wouldn't leave it on there for like 3 or 4 minutes where it's like it's just going to burn.
Yeah.
So you have to get it on like in the first probably when it just starts to smoke.
Yeah.
Like
how long is that? About a minute.
A minute, maybe. Depends on your own hob. How quick your hob is. So if mine's pretty hot, mine's pretty good.
Yeah.
So starts fairly quick, and when that's done, straight on. And then usually, like, I'll do it for like a minute, so a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn the heat down slightly, maybe to like, on mine it comes up to like a 9. 9's the hottest, so I'll put it down to maybe like an 8.
Okay.
And then like maybe, depending on the size of the steak.
Yeah. What's the purpose of that?
Just to sort of like not burn it.
Okay, fine.
So I think obviously if you're
going to want the sear.
Yeah, you want,
and then you want the cook.
Yeah, you want the like burn it. Like sear is different to like charcoal or burning it. Like, you know, I have done that before, like years ago, like where you've just like overcooked. I mean, when I first started cooking steak, like when I was younger, obviously a lot of the time you don't really know how to cook it, do you? But I mean, like, you just want that nice char. So you like, and you'll be able to like constantly turn it. If you turn it over like a minute, every other minute, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
And then once you've done that, just whack it off, obviously. And then the resting time is important. So you've got to let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Fine. And
then when you do that, then you're good.
You're good. So what do you need to do to the steak to prepare it? Because you obviously you don't salt it.
No.
Let's pretend it's just come out the fridge or the freezer. Let's start with the fridge. Can it just go straight on the pan?
No, I won't put it straight on that. I'd leave it out to rest for about an hour probably.
Okay.
Or room temperature. So just bring it out to room temp. Usually it takes, I'd probably say half an hour to an hour. Just so it's like room temp.
Okay. Even same to frozen, just get it to room temp.
Yeah, it gets to room temp. Obviously frozen's gonna take a while. I usually always eat fresh steaks. So I'm not a massive fan of frozen.
Okay.
Just because it's time consuming. And I just prefer the taste of a fresh steak. I know obviously like it's still pretty similar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like, depending on the size of the steak too.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it just adds a bit more time on. If you get it out of the fridge for like, if you get it out of the fridge straight away and you make it within 5 minutes, it's just going to add a bit of time on. So your timers might be thrown off a little bit.
And then what about, I have no idea what the hell this was for until this year, but I've seen people, they get the steak out. It's how little I know about food.
Yeah.
And I used to wonder why they're whacking it with a hammer. And I get it.
Tenderizing it.
Yeah, it's to get it the same thickness, right? What, like, if it's all the same thickness to start with, what benefit is there in making it thinner?
To be honest, mate, I couldn't tell you with that one. I'm not a fan of like, I don't really like really thin steaks.
No, I don't.
I'd imagine you just want to flash fry it.
Fun.
Just like do it really quick. Yeah. And that's it. Maybe it's just less time consuming.
Okay, fine.
Maybe there's something to do with, I don't know, like, I'm not sure. But like for me, if you're going to flatten out a ribeye or something, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, I agree. Perfect the way it is.
Like, just leave it.
Cut it to the right thickness and get it done.
With that one, it's like certain types of meat. I don't think it's rib. I don't think people do that with like actual steaks. I've seen you do it with like different ones where they smash it with a hammer.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not fully actually sure about that. I just think it's just like personal preference.
For show, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Just to get a little hammer out and like, look at me, I'm tenderizing.
So next I want to ask you about the fridge versus frozen debate. In terms of taste, let's pretend you took one out of the fridge, you took one out of the freezer that had been in the freezer for a few months, and the one that was in the fridge had never been frozen and is relatively fresh. If someone cooked them the exact same way and put them in front of you, would you be able to tell which was made in the fridge and which was in the freezer for a few months?
Question. Probably, yeah.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
And how is that taste going to be different for each?
It's a weird thing to say. I mean, like, because I have made frozen steaks before.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know what it is. It's like something you can just tell when you kind of cut into it. Maybe, I mean, I don't really have massive experience in this because I've always had fresh steaks.
Right.
So I don't actually know because I've never done the comparison. So I have actually no idea. But I mean, I would always go for more of a fresh steak. I prefer that.
Yeah. Fine. And then in terms of steak choice, I think most of the world, I think would say ribeye is the best.
Yeah.
And me too. I love a ribeye.
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's take ribeye out of the equation. For the purposes of this then, if you couldn't have ribeye, what would you say are the tastiest steaks cuts on average? Because ribeye can be a little bit expensive in certain places.
It's very expensive, yeah. It's probably the most expensive out of all.
Okay, fine.
Without a doubt. I like sirloin. Sirloin's good. Picanha is really nice.
That's a rump, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of rump. I love ground beef.
Okay.
Like beef mince. I love like high fat, like burgers. And most of what I eat is actually like cheeseburgers. I eat a lot of like, raw cheese on the burger, patties, I make myself. But like, steaks wise, ribeye is always going to be number one for me. But I love lamb as well.
Okay.
Like I eat a lot of lamb.
Any particular part of the lamb?
Lamb chops. Loin chops. So like fatty bit.
Yeah.
So always the fatty bit.
Yeah.
When I was watching, fat is essential.
And in terms of beef, what are the fattiest cuts?
So ribeye is obviously the fattiest cut.
Is it? It's the most fatty.
Well, it's it's one of the fattiest cuts.
Okay.
Brisket.
Yeah.
It's pretty fatty.
So now brisket, there's an interesting one. So brisket is typically...
Brisket's really nice.
You slow do it.
Slow
and then you smoke. And it's like, it's rolled brisket, isn't it? It's like a cube shape.
Yeah.
Now, I've got some in the freezer. But I don't think I can eat a whole brisket if I smoke it.
No, it's huge.
Yeah.
It usually comes in like big. Yeah,
it is big.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, am I being stupid and thinking, well, if it's a tube shape, why don't I just slice it and then just cook it as a steak? Can you do that?
You can do that, yeah.
Oh, is it going to taste horrible or something?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've not actually tried to. I mean, anytime like, I've done brisket, which has been rare, it's always been slow cooked in the oven. So yeah, it's not in terms of like steaks and stuff. I'm pretty simple in terms of like, for me, it's just like ribeyes. You know, sometimes sirloins, lamb chops in the pan. It's not like
you keep it nice and simple.
Very simple. Fine. It's very, very, very simple.
And have you ever tried chuck?
Chuck's, yeah.
Because I've heard, well, Richard Smith, he always says chuck is the poor man's ribeye.
Yeah, he loves that. Yeah, because he gets it because it's cheaper, isn't it?
Yeah, from the butcher.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've tried chuck before.
Yeah.
It's because I mean when we've been out to like steakhouses like for Sender or whatever.
Yeah.
They have like loads of different options.
Oh yeah, there's one in Manchester.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. But yeah, there's like this chuck steaks. I've heard it's like I think that's more of an American thing now. When people say that, whenever people say chuck,
it's got an American name.
That's what I mean. It's like that's what I mean. Yeah, chuck's the ultimate American name, isn't it? Literally, you can't get more American than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, but for me, it's always going to be ribeyes, but lamb as well. I think lamb is very, very. I think there's an argument that pound for pound, lamb is actually more nutritious than beef.
And for what reason?
It's due to mainly the omega-3 content.
Okay.
So if it's raised, if like the lamb has been raised on like it's grass fed, genetically raised, it's going to be higher in that omega-3. And I just think, man, because usually lambs are always grass fed.
Yeah.
So they probably won't be grain fed as much as like cows will. A lot of cows will be grass fed, but then they'll be grain finished or something. Which I don't have a massive problem with because I love wagyu, for example, wagyu steaks. Yeah. I mean, it's the fat for me I don't have any issues with that. Yeah. A lot of people only opt for like grass fed, and you can usually tell the difference in like the color. Like usually,
okay, so before it's cooked.
Yeah. So usually, like for example, wagyu or like grain fed will be like there'll be like a lighter red and there'll be a lot of fat. Whereas grass fed will usually be like a darker red. You can usually tell, and sometimes it'll have like yellow fat. Yeah,
do you know what? I've noticed that because I get my beef, not a plug, just genuine. I get my beef from Haythorne Cattle,
nice.
Not too far from London, from a guy called Harvey. He owns a farm there, and when I get meat from him, I'm accustomed now to it looking that color, which is quite a dark red, and there is a slight yellowness to the fat.
Yeah,
and the other day I was thinking, hang on, when I used to get stuff from the supermarket, it never looked like this.
No.
And you're saying it's because of the grass fed?
It'll be, because of what they're fed. I mean, what it is. Obviously, supermarket means it's a lot more. It's still, like, thing is, a supermarket meat, it's still good. It's still, very
meat
good.
At the end of the day.
Absolutely, yeah. I think a lot of people sort of dog supermarket stuff, like, it's not, like, if it's your only option, especially as well, like, it's going to be 10 times, 100 times better than anything else.
Yeah.
If you can have access and you've got the money, you can afford good quality meat.
Yeah.
Like I get a lot of my lamb from a company called Cheshire Prime Meats.
Okay.
So I'll give them a shout out, Cheshire Prime Meats. But they're all regeneratively raised, grass fed, high omega-3 content.
Yeah, same where I get mine, yeah.
It's like the couple who own it, like I'm close friend, I've known them for a while. So it's like, they're very, very in tune with like, their lambs are like really well raised and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, and they ship, UK wide, nationwide. So it's like, but for me, obviously it's right local to me. So I have access to that. I also have, I go to farm shops, get lamb there, I get like beef from there.
And this is an aspect that if people herald in, vegetarianism and veganism and similar as they're being very environmentally friendly. I'm literally driving to my farm not far from here and picking it up. Where are the air miles for my exotic fruit from that? There's none.
Well, totally, yeah. Exactly.
And I think that's a benefit.
It makes sense, yeah, it makes sense.
In terms of the taste difference, let's talk about the taste difference between, say, grass-fed, grain-fed, and then whatever ratio, and let's say wagyu or non-wagyu. So in terms of grass and grain-fed, or a combination, again, if you had one fully grass, like Cheshire Prime Meats or Haythorne Cattle, one fully grain-fed, like from a supermarket, and one that was mix of both, and they were cooked identically, put in front of you, would you be able to tell the difference?
I think you definitely be able to tell. Like, for example, when you get towards more like the real fatty ones, like the wagyu, like you can see the white cap and like the white marbling on these, and usually you'll know it when you cook them. For example, if they're in the pan, there'll just be a layer of fat on the bottom of the pan. Like you probably won't even have to add any sort of cooking fat to it.
Right.
Because like it'll just be a layer of fat. You'll just be able to see all the fat coming off, obviously, a cut of meat.
Yeah.
And like you say, the color differences as well. With a grass finish, obviously, cut steak, the one that's more darker red, it probably won't be as much fat.
Yeah.
only because the animal's just leaner
Yeah.
naturally. So obviously it's the same concept with humans to animals.
Yeah.
When animals eat the grains and eat the carbs, they get bigger.
They convert to fat. Yeah.
You know, when they eat, you know, just the grass, obviously what animals are supposed to eat, then they stay lean. Same sort of thing with us. You know, if we eat properly, we stay lean. When, you know, if a lot of people are eating the crap that they don't need to eat, like the grains, for example, you know, they get overweight and they get fat. That's the same sort of thing. So the taste, I mean, I must admit that I do love like fatty steaks. So like I love, like, I don't mind having, but I don't either or. I mean, like, I love Wagyu, but I love the high fat stuff, but I also like the grass-finished stuff.
I actually love the taste of fat.
Oh,
when you grill it properly,
mate,
it's got that slight smoke. It's so delicious.
It's incredible, yeah.
Like I was in Germany just a couple of weeks ago, and they have this thing called Schweinshaxen, which is like a pig knuckle, a big knuckle.
Oh yeah.
And it's got this massive piece of fat around it that's so crispy. Oh, I'm tasting it now in my mouth. It's delicious.
It's when the fat is like crisped up.
Yeah.
Oh mate.
If anyone knows a place like that in the UK offering Schweinshaxen or similar, please comment down below. I need to know.
There's some German markets in Manchester. I might go.
I'm going to go with one of them. I'm always going German as well. To give you a discount.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so what about Wagyu and non-Wagyu? So I think it's pretty obvious that people prefer the taste of Wagyu.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
A lot of people do.
What does Wagyu actually mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
No idea. I know it's like it's heralded in like it's like
a type of breed.
It's like it's a certain cattle.
Okay,
it's big. It's massive in Japan. There's like there's like an A5 Wagyu steak you can get in Japan, which is like expensive. It's crazy. And literally, like I've seen like butchers, like really high end butchers on YouTube have got it. They've like ordered it in. It's literally just white. The whole steak is just white.
Like, so they don't need fat in it.
Oh mate, it's crazy. Like the whole, like you'll get a big steak, and like only like a quarter of it will be red. Like most of it will just be marbled. It will just go into marble, and the big fat cap around the end. Yeah, it's just insane.
Have you tried those? One example.
I've not tried one like that. I've had Wagyu before, Wagyu steaks, which are amazing. I've also tried. I don't know if you had, you know, Mason's Meats.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, he has like the Wagyu,
the crispy stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
I treat those like crisps.
Oh man,
like Carnivore crisps. I love it.
The Wagyu brisket, James. I mean, like they're just insane. I mean, like you see, like. It's just the fat, but like you say, it's like the fat.
So it's cooked so well. Big shout out to Mason's Meats.
Yeah,
he probably doesn't watch this channel. Like, shout out to him anyway.
Michael, you're a legend. I need some more. Send it over.
Yeah, I first tried his stuff at Carnivore Conference.
Yes,
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he just brought like a load of stuff and
and it was delicious.
Oh,
I think I bought about 3 or 4 bags off the Real Food Company there and then.
Oh, it's so good.
I love it. It's very good.
Yeah.
So that's Wagyu. So I think that covers most of the cooking process. I want to talk about after cooking. What's the point of resting a steak?
It's just to keep all the juices intact and make sure, like, so obviously you don't want to like overcook it when it's cooking. That makes sense. So like, you know, when you first get it off the pan, it'll probably be a bit too rare, maybe, for example. But if you just leave it for like 5 to 10 minutes, it would keep cooking. It would just
because the heat's retained.
Exactly, the heat retained. And then when you cut it open, if you know, all the juices will be intact, so it'll just be nice and juicy. And when you cut it open, you don't want to just get it off straight away. And then just slice into it right away.
Okay. I do sometimes do that if I'm really impatient.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super impatient, mate. Like, I like to say I'm actually patiently impatient. I think when you make stuff, when you make food, it's like,
but then you want to eat it straight.
Taking your time with food. I mean, literally, I'm like frying my eggs. Then the next batch goes on, I'm like, right, I'll just have one straight in my hand, straight from that. But I mean, especially if you eat like once a day. You're hungry, are you?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, like, you just want to keep all the juice inside when you slice it up.
Yeah. I mean, I usually have 2 or 3 steaks together.
Yeah.
So if I eat one, the others are basically resting, right?
Are you pretty much just exclusively red meat? Like you won't have eggs or anything like that?
I do have those. Yeah.
You mix it up,
It just depends on what I can be bothered to make that day.
Right, okay, yes. You don't overthink it too much. You're just like, you don't seem like someone who overthinks it much.
No. If I'm craving a Coke, I'll just have a Coke. I don't really care.
Exactly.
Because I know
full fat Coke. I just had one.
Full fat. Because I know I'm not going to have 10 that day.
That used to be my treat, man. Every Friday, man, after school. Yeah. It was like we were allowed. Well, I was allowed. Packet of Monster Munch.
Yeah.
Pickle onion, purple.
That's standard. The only flavour you can.
I know. Yeah.
If you don't know what that is, by the way, it's a flavour of crisps or chips.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like it's well, when I was a kid after school, it was like that was like my treat on a Friday and a can of Coke. Yeah. And that was it. Yeah, that was it. That was like a treat. So
your parents raised.
I was raised pretty well in terms of that was not an everyday thing.
Yeah,
brilliant. But it's and then but the teeth weren't great after. I mean, obviously, usually, you know, if I haven't had a Coke in so long. Yeah. I mean, I can't remember the last time I had something like that. Yeah. But I can remember. I think the last time I did, just my teeth you just feel
they feel chalky.
Yeah, they feel a bit
what's
furry.
The phosphoric acid is dissolving the enamel out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and so you're feeling the roughness.
Exactly.
And so when you stop having it, the saliva comes back in your mouth.
Exactly.
And it remineralizes again.
Yeah,
it's all like it feels like glass again after a while.
I used to have like Lucozade Sports when I was playing.
Oh yeah.
That was just
when I was at university. I used to go through a 6-pack of Coke cans a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason I didn't get obese was because I used to do so much. I used to do sport 14 times a week.
No, would you not onto Diet Coke? No, you don't really know.
Full fat.
Yeah, really.
Full fat. Yeah.
So I went through a phase of having some Diet Cokes.
Oof.
And but I think they're arguably worse.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree because the worst thing in the normal Coca-Cola is sugar.
Exactly.
But we can tolerate sugar because we can convert it into other things.
Absolutely.
Whereas in the Diet Coke, all these things we're not meant to have at all. Like where in 5 million years of evolution was aspartame?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's not meant to be.
It's not the same. I think the same thing with vegetable oils or seed oils for the American audience.
Where would we have gotten seed oils from before?
I think that's the biggest thing. I think that it sounds weird, but I think pure sugar is completely different to these artificial sweeteners, and I'd argue that it's better. I mean, that's
I agree with you.
I would argue that you can eat pure sugar compared to it's the seed oils and the vegetable oils that
100% agree.
Wreck your gut.
Yeah, I mean, to be technical for a second, a very good reference for this is Engel 2018, ENGEL. There's a study done in Denmark. They gave people particular drinks to have over a 6-month period. I think it was 1 liter a day. There was whole fat milk, pure water, full fat Coke, if you like, or full sugar, and then artificially sweetened. And now both the normal Coke and the artificially sweetened Coke, if it was Coke or Pepsi, whatever it was, they both gained weight. And that tells you it's not about necessarily what's in it, it's the sweet taste.
Absolutely.
But how does your brain know whether it's sugar or something else? If it's sweet, it's going to have the same effect as sugar, ultimately. That's what that study showed us.
It doesn't know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, which is why if I'm going to have it, I'll have just Coke.
Yeah,
I'd rather have sugar as the worst thing than all these random chemicals.
Absolutely, yeah. I fully agree with you. I think that chemicals and if you look at a food or a drink and it's got like 10 different, 10 or 12, 15 different, sometimes I'll be in like Waitrose and I look at the back of some of these packets. Like the other day we looked at some
paragraph of ingredients.
We looked at some mince pies. Yeah, I couldn't believe there was like 40.
It's awful.
40 different
even ingredients. Ketchup, right? I remember once I was getting to me. I thought, I'll see if I can get a decent sauce.
Yeah,
ketchup's like half of it is sugar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, ketchup's weird though because there's not a long list of ingredients, but it's a bit. I mean, but some of the other the low calorie or the low that's what you got. Like just
rubbish.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, like if anyone's watching, you've got to look out for these low calorie, low diet. Like, I mean,
get the full fat.
Totally. If you are going to get them, I mean, you are better off doing that. It's
the normal stuff,
but you are better because those are just like they're just conning you completely.
Yeah,
I think it's become popular from this like gym bro diet culture, sort of like zero calorie. It's like, oh yeah, well it's zero calories.
I think it's become popular because people want an excuse to eat what they want. And if you just put the low calorie thing on there, yes, it might be low calorie, and they just scoff their face. And they want an excuse. They want to justify why they're eating something. Oh, it's all right. It's low calorie.
Did you see there was like a high protein Mars bar or Snickers?
Oh, something. Yeah, that's come out. I've seen it in shops. Yeah.
Insanity.
Just full of sugar as well, though.
It's unbelievable.
And they put no added sugar, which is very misleading because if you look at the ingredients, it's just full of sugar.
Exactly. Yeah.
It may not be added, but it's still sugar.
Well, it's just. I mean, like it's like they're trying every single thing. They're like sort of to make people sort of like
technically correct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As far as the Advertising Standards Authority is concerned.
Exactly.
But biologically, you're still putting crap in yourself.
But when you're living your life by calories, by definition, you are in trouble because if you've already lost. If you're trying to track calories and you're that restrictive, you've already. I think that's where carnivore is such a help for so many people. The fact that you don't have to track calories.
Yeah, because that's why you don't get hungry all the time. And because you eat till you're full.
And it's funny because people still can't get their head around that.
No.
They just think, no, it's calorie deficit. You're only off weight. It's nonsense.
Friends of mine, I've done this clinically with patients for a long time now, and even friends of mine who still tell me, oh yeah, calories don't exist. I forgot you're on about that, aren't you? I was like, yeah, because define it for me then. And they still can't bloody define it.
No.
But I was going to talk about one other thing as well. Well, a few other things, but a big thing, and I'm being really selfish here, ice cream. I've seen you do carnivore ice cream.
Yeah.
Now, for the carnivore purists, it's not 100% carnivore, but for the purpose of today, we're defining it as 70 to 80%.
Totally.
And as far as that is concerned, I think it fits that definition in the way that you do it.
Yeah.
So talk to us, give us a masterclass on carnivore ice cream.
Oh,
and I'm mentally taking a lot of notes here.
Oh, I think it's so simple. It's just double cream. So in heavy whipping or heavy cream for like,
any particular brand that you personally
just get organic. Just try or raw. If you can get raw cream, absolutely. But the thing is, raw cream, it's like it's already so thick that you probably don't need to whip it.
Okay.
But double cream, you can get it. Just get it from the supermarket, get it from Waitrose or whatever.
Any old one.
Yeah, just double cream, egg yolks, a bit of vanilla extract if you want, which technically probably isn't, but and then raw honey. Like always try and get, this is another point. If you are going to use honey, try and get it raw and local.
Okay.
So it maintains the enzymes, all this sort of stuff. And if it's done local, it's not being shipped anywhere. So you don't want that, I mean, even if it's raw, it's still good. But if it's being shipped over from like
Venezuela or something,
or like Poland or something like that, it's not going to be like, it's not the same. So you want to, and also it's good to support local. So like, it's going to be, and also the pesticide aspect as well. Because like if it's local, it's not going to be sort of like, the bees aren't going to travel around. They're not going to be subjected to sort of pesticides, if that makes sense. But that's a little bit of nuance to it. But I mean, try and get raw local.
Any particular brand?
I use, I've recently been using a brand called Happy Valley Honey.
Okay.
But I also use Bax Bees.
Okay.
Shout out to Bax Bees. So Bax Bees and Happy Valley Honey, they're both local to me. They're really good. So you can always usually find a raw local honey company somewhere.
Fine.
Those two. So it's just double cream, egg yolks, vanilla extract, raw honey.
And you whip it all together.
Whisk it all up
in a bowl.
That's it, man. Whip the double cream first, then put the egg yolks in, vanilla extract, honey.
Okay.
And whisk it again.
And in terms of the vanilla, I've looked into this. There's vanilla paste, there's raw vanilla beans, there's vanilla powder. Like, does it make a difference what you use?
Yeah, the best you can use is like the pods, like the vanilla bean pods. Yeah, the whole pods, like the Madagascar vanilla pods. They're the best. They just take they're more expensive and they just take a bit more time. You got to just like get out the pods and
like slice it and scrape it all out.
Scrape them in.
Okay.
I tend to use just the standard vanilla extract, but a good clean one. We're not like, sometimes you can get ones that like more syrupy. Where they've got like added things in there.
Oh, it's a bit thicker.
Yeah, it's a bit thicker. So it wants to be like a liquid, like a sort of just like a, fluid sort of thing. So you just get in there. It's got a little bit of stuff in there, but it's not, it's like a tablespoon. So it's not like a big deal. You can also make it without. When I was making it more often for myself, I wasn't using vanilla extract. I was just using honey. So it was literally just double cream, egg yolks and honey, and that's it.
So is it much sweeter if you add the vanilla extract on?
Yeah, it just gives it that sort of like vanilla-y ice cream. Conventional ice cream, vanilla-y type taste. And you get that bit of an aftertaste with it. Whereas the honey, you just sort of, you get more of the creamy, it's like cream and honey, whereas vanilla extract is probably better to use. Or you can add a bit of salt to it as well.
Okay.
So just a little bit of salt.
Wouldn't that make it taste a bit weird?
No, it tastes great.
Okay.
Just only just a little pinch.
Okay.
Just a little bit, just season it up a little bit, but then that's it.
And then leave it overnight.
2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
and it's ready to go.
And then just like take it out of the freezer, maybe like wait a little bit, and then just scoop it out, man. Or just like if you've got a container, you have to just straight out.
So I know people like Dr. Kiltz. He
has a Kiltz's ice cream, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he uses this thing called a Cuisinart.
That cream maker.
Have you tried those? Do you think?
I've not. No, I've seen them before. I've seen other people do that.
Yeah.
Like an ice cream maker sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it basically just, I think it makes it just look like real ice cream.
Yeah.
So it looks like stuff you'd see in like, in a restaurant, whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously mine's a bit more like conventional, very simple. Because that's kind of the way I want it to be. I want it to be more sort of just simple.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people resonate with it, because they can just make it where they don't have to, it's not so fancy. Like I like them to look good, don't get me wrong, but like they're more simple. Rather than just like, they're not just like done in like a fancy kitchen or whatever.
And how long does that take you to make all the preparation stage before it goes in the freezer?
Oh, mate, it takes like 5 minutes.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. Okay.
It's just double cream, egg yolks. And then that's
just one of those electronic...
Just a whisker, things. Yeah, that's it. It takes literally 5 to 10 minutes. So you can make it. I mean, I must admit, I went through a stage where I was having it every single night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was just like, after a while, you start to be like, right, well, so much fat and so much cream.
Yeah.
Like, so much dairy, and it becomes where it just gets a bit of a habit.
Probably a digestive issue for some people as well.
It can be digestive issues. Too much fat can obviously lead to a few things. Water stools, digestive upset, just a bit of and also weight gain.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, calories. I don't really believe in calories, but if you are slamming tons of cream and butter and shit like constant,
that's sugar as well.
It can be. If you're just slamming, and I've done experiments and tests on myself with this. I've like where I've eaten loads and loads of fat.
Yeah.
And you put weight on.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it's just like, I mean, I'm not saying that like, in terms of the amounts of food you eat, that's kind of what I look at, that you won't gain weight.
Yeah.
So I think there was a lot of people who said that, oh, you can't gain weight. But I think that
depends how you train, depends how strict you are with dairy, things like that.
Activity level. I think that, like, you know, for example, my mum does carnivore. She's done fantastically well with it. For years now. You know, helped heal, you know, sort of correct her thyroid issues and stuff. You know, but she would not eat, you know, the same amount of food that I would eat.
Of course.
You know, her, you know, what she does is like, and she's sort of varied now as well, but she'll eat like multiple times a day, 2-3 times a day, whereas I'll eat once a day. You can't compare, like, for example, a 60-odd-year-old woman to like a 30-odd-year-old or 20-year-old, you know,
or anyone post-menopause to anyone that can't go through menopause.
Exactly. So this is where there's a lot of nuance and variation to it. I think.
Agree. So that's ice cream. So another thing that I've seen you use, not that often, but I think I've seen it on a few of your posts, is something which a lot of people are obsessed by, which is bread. Now, I've seen you make variations of this. And again, purists will say...
That's not bread.
Yeah, it's not bread. Like, obviously, it's not bread. Like, that's the point of what you're doing on social media.
You've got to wind them up. You've got to wind them up a little bit.
Exactly. I get that, and I didn't think anything of it. And again, other purists will say, well, it's not 100% carnivore. It's not trying to be. Please don't comment. This is you know, on that basis.
I'm only winding you up a little bit. Don't take it personally. You know what I mean?
So the first thing I want to ask you, before we actually get into how it's done, if you were to give that carnivore bread, alongside a slice of whatever, to someone and they were blindfolded, like, what would they say?
I mean, they would say it's probably not bread, but they obviously know it's not bread. Like, it doesn't taste like bread. It tastes like but it's a nice sort of, like, it's just like, I think it's really good. It's like, and it's, again, the good thing about it is that, like, it's more filling. You know what I mean? Like, it's way more filling, like, and you won't get the stomach upset.
Right.
So, like, you know, it's got a few different things in there, but, like, you know, it's mainly just like, it's not going to taste like bread.
I guess, is the texture similar?
It can be similar, yeah. Obviously, like, you can add different things in there. Like, you can add a bit of, like, sort of the egg white powder or the milk powder that gives it that sort of bready sort of taste to it. But you can add like, you know, obviously, like, cream cheese, cottage cheese, you know, like eggs, things like that. You can make like a chicken base one.
Flipping hell.
I've done different ones.
Yeah.
And but yeah.
Go for it.
If you haven't eaten bread for about 2 months and been strict, it doesn't taste like bread.
Okay.
Yeah, legit. Yeah. So yeah, it depends. Like, sort of, if you've not eaten bread and you're not used to it, it's like, it will taste exactly
as bready as you can get.
It will taste amazing.
Yeah.
If you're like a burger pizza connoisseur, like you're a sourdough expert, you'd be like, what is this sort of thing? But it's like for example, like the steak and grilled cheese sandwich and the ham and cheese toasty. Those ones were incredible. Like, they were absolutely unreal. I mean, they literally tasted like, because they were like sort of fried in the pan too. So like
right.
as well.
So you put that, you cook the sandwich.
I did this. I cut the bread and then I put it like in the pan to fry each other, a bit like fried bread, like grilled cheese, like steak.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I mean, like, it's amazing. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, I think any foodie would say the same thing. And I think if they didn't, they'd be lying. They'd be lying. They did that, you know. So I think that it tastes really, really good.
Well, we'll have to do a video where I come up to Manchester.
Yeah, totally.
1 or 2 different foods.
Yeah.
And we, like, what's that show from Ainsley Harriott? Ready, Steady, Cook.
Yeah, no,
used to be if you're under the age of about 25, you have no idea what we're talking about.
Ainsley, yeah, right.
But stuff like that. Yeah, that'll be a good video. So let's talk about then what goes into it. Because you've just mentioned a few different things. Sometimes you make it from this, sometimes you make it from that. So there's obviously variation.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you decide what can and what can't work, and what the principle is to actually make that bread.
It's just research. It's just like sort of like looking at different things, testing out different things. Obviously,
there's a lot you can predict exactly what's going to taste good. You're trying variation.
Consistency wise, I mean, I've tried a few where it's been like, you know, it's not come out great.
Yeah.
I've tried a few where it's come out really dry. Like for example, like I did one like with a chicken-based bread that was just like too dry.
Right.
But then if you use like cottage cheese and cream cheese and eggs and stuff like that, it comes out a bit more sort of like bready.
Okay.
Which is a lot better.
Yeah.
Like even with like the pizza, like for example, like I tried to do like a beef mince base one time and it just didn't work.
Right.
It was just like, it just didn't taste great. But like I use obviously the chicken breast base, which is completely different.
Yeah.
But so it comes out really, really well. It's just trial and error, doing a bit of research.
So at the minute, like if I had to say to you, right, Pam, you're gonna eat some bread now. Some carnivore bread, but you can have any that you want. What would be your favorite base, and what do people consistently feed back as like the most popular?
It would be like it probably the one. I mean, I did one recently. It was like eggs, cottage cheese, cream cheese on the bread.
It was the Carnivore crisp chicken breast flour.
That's it. Yeah. So we used a chicken breast flour as well in there.
Okay.
Shout out to Carnivore crisps in the States. They're really good.
So talk to me about how you put that together. Like, what's the recipe for that?
It's just so it's like usually 6 eggs in a blender.
Yeah.
Is it cottage cheese?
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese.
And a couple of scoops of Carnivore crisp chicken breast flour.
Yeah, a couple of those. Yeah. James is like the researcher, man. Like,
okay.
so he like so.
Wait, so hang on. That's all of it. That's the whole recipe list.
Baking soda, butter as well. We make so many, man. Like it's so many. Like,
really?
honestly, yeah.
Right, so there's actually not a strict.
We add melted tallow and melted butter to that as well.
Okay.
And then the chicken breast flour, the eggs, cottage cheese, and then blend it up. So usually 6 eggs.
So it's all one mixture.
It's one mixture. The blender's like full, man. It's like a big, it's like usually 6 eggs, a whole tub of cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Melted butter, melted tallow, baking soda, things like that. The chicken breast flour.
Yeah.
Goes in like a bread pan.
Yeah.
Put it in the oven for like 40 minutes, 30 minutes. Comes out really nice.
What setting do you put the oven on?
For that, probably like 180, I think.
Okay.
Not like a crazy high heat. Well, 175, something like that.
Yeah.
Cook it like slower for a longer amount of time.
Yeah.
But when obviously when I've done it before, where like you slice open, it's just like really smooth. And like it's nice. It's like just like a protein type bread. But it's like I think you'd really
There's the egg white powder.
Yeah, the egg white powder, which just gives it a bit of a different consistency.
Okay.
Like the egg white powder will make it look like bread.
I see.
So like it's like it'll basically just look
with the
like,
holes inside and everything.
It would just look like if I gave made like a bagel or something like that and made it with that, you'd be like, oh yeah, well, it looks like a bagel.
Okay, fine.
Whereas like without that, it'll just look like it won't look the same.
Almost like a sort of boiled bowl.
Yeah, a little bit. It just a little bit different.
Okay.
But they both taste really, really good.
Okay.
I think probably without the egg white powder is probably even nicer.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think more of the bready sort of consistency probably isn't as nice. But maybe to me, it's to someone who's actually
you can experiment, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's about trial and error and just finding things out, and obviously sort of what looks good as well.
Yeah.
What doesn't? Sometimes the best tasting recipes don't look that good. They don't look as good. I mean, like they don't have to be.
Yeah.
Again, it's very, very simple.
So let's go through that one more time. So 6 eggs.
Cottage cheese, melted butter, melted tallow.
Yeah.
Chicken breast flour.
Yeah.
Baking soda.
So the only non-carnivore thing there is baking soda, really.
Yeah.
Which is not really going to do very much.
I mean, people brush their teeth with baking soda,
exactly.
so I mean, like, it's not really like a big deal, is
so
it?
that's all practically fully carnivore.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Completely carnivore. So yeah, that's why it's called like a carnivore.
Yeah.
I have different variations. Sometimes I'll say like a proper healthy bread. If I'm using a different ingredient, then I'll use some, a different terminology. Not to upset all the carnivores out there. But I sort of. But if it's fully carnivore, 100% say, because people who obviously buy the books, buy the cookbooks, whatever, they want to stay more strict. They're able to do that, but they can enjoy it. They can, enjoy themselves. They
just be creative with it.
They can be creative. They can, if they want to do it on a weekend with a family. I think that's what it is, because I think a lot of people sort of say, why don't you just have the actual recipe? Why don't you just have bread?
Yeah.
Well, that's not the point. I mean, like, me and you might be able to just have that and then put it down.
Not really care.
Some people have come from like chronic backgrounds of food addiction, obesity, chronic illness.
Yeah.
They can't have bread and just be okay with that. That will send them down a spiral.
Yeah.
Which is terrible. That will just lead them back into old habits.
And you can tell when people comment that, absolutely, they have no idea.
They have no clue.
And because there's people that commented, they only see your video. They don't see what we see, which is working with many different types of people.
They have no idea. They're only thinking of it from their own selfish perspective.
100%.
But obviously, but you've always got to question the sanity of an internet troll anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, why are they on there in the first place?
In fact, to the trolls here, if you're watching it, you shouldn't be having bread on carnivore, don't have it then. This is not for you.
Yeah, man,
don't watch it. Watch something else.
But it's fine. Listen, like, obviously, because you're always going to get it no matter what. If you're in this industry, you're in this space, you're in this niche, you're going to get people all the time.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it's like, you don't know where a lot of people have come from.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that too, because like, I don't really have that disordered eating background in terms of like, I've never really struggled massively with food.
Yeah.
Apart from just like, being like a fitness freak and like obviously watching calories and counting things back in the day. But like, for some people, food is a huge part of their life. It completely runs their life.
Yeah, I agree.
So if they're making this stuff and they're good and they're losing weight and they're thriving, then that's on them.
Yeah.
If you don't want to eat it, you just
it's not for you.
Keep on eating the meal deals. No issue whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, like, at all. So it's all good.
I mean, I've had videos I've made about like certain types of skincare, and some people have comments be like, "Oh, I'm not interested in this." Well, it's not for you then.
It's insane.
Not for you.
I know. It's like they'll comment and it'd be like sort of, oh, like, why am I even watching this? Or like, why is anyone watching this? Like, mate, why are you watching it?
Yeah.
Like, why are you even on it?
And why are we taking the time to comment on it?
It's just like well, honestly, what are you doing?
Just look at it and then just face palm, like you can't see your own irony.
Like, just like how? Like why are you even on it? It's just a reflection. It's why you can't get to you know, I just want also as well, like if you're in this space, like anyone who's thinking about starting anything online, don't be worried about do not be worried about clowns on because you're always going to get them.
Don't give a crap about anything like
and
that.
Especially, you know, in this space, and there's a lot of people who like, you know, especially when you're coming up. When you're coming up, as I notice especially, people will always try and tear you down even more.
Yeah, okay.
But when you get a bit of a presence, it becomes a bit different. But I mean, like, you're always going to get people that are going to try and bring you down.
100%.
So there's no point in worrying about it whatsoever because it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, of course.
So just keep doing your thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep doing your thing.
In fact, that's how I came across you. There was a video on my YouTube homepage.
Probably plenty of videos made about me.
Oh yeah, and it was this guy who was commenting. He didn't know anything about nutrition, and you made a video on Instagram. I remember it was a vertical one, and the video was about making things as cheap as possible for people who were on a budget.
Okay, right.
And you showed how to make a load of mints.
Yeah.
You know, maybe put some things
different ideas together.
Yeah. And then you put a little bit of butter on top as well for some of the fats that are in there. And then you held it up to the camera and you did your thumbs up. And this guy was commenting on it, and he was saying basically, I can't remember the exact words, but it was to the effect of, how can this idiot think that that's healthy? You know, who would want to eat a plate that looks like that? And I just thought, you have no clue what you're doing. Like, first of all, that is healthy because it's got everything you need.
Totally, yeah.
And second of all, some people aren't out to make a Michelin star plate. They're on a shoestring budget.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so you've missed the point completely.
Totally.
So, yeah.
And I state it all the time in my, like what I'm talking about. Like, it's just like, but again, people are always going to look at it from their perspective.
100%.
It's like, it's just, but me and you will do that.
Yeah.
We'll always look at it from our own selfish perspective. It's just, that's just life.
It's nature.
It's just nature. So, and again, if people are taking the time out of the day to write stuff like that and comment, like, it shows, it's a reflection on what they're probably going through in life. They're probably not happy with the situation. They're probably angry. They're probably, because, and in a way I get it, because they've been lied to their whole life about food. They've been brainwashed to believe that low fat and
here goes someone else saying the opposite. Who do I believe?
You know, like, you know, calories in, calories out merchants. You know, it's just like, I totally get it. I understand. But I notice that like people who really truly support me and support, you know, guys like yourself, and
that's all that matters.
They don't comment.
No.
People like that, like they'll very rarely comment because they'll just they'll know what's going on.
Yeah.
And
can't be bothered.
I've always said if I start getting like sort of, if you start getting hate from people that you really respect, then that's when you start to think, right, well maybe I'm doing something wrong. If you keep getting hate from like random basement dwellers, you know, and you know, it's like you can't.
It's a good sign. You're getting bigger.
There's no such thing as bad press.
Shouldn't really care.
Exactly, yeah. So you know you're on the right track when, like, you know, every single person who comments is like no profile picture.
Yeah.
You know, they're just trying to
random username,
like username 5001 or something like that. Like, it's different. But, you know, because social media can be an ugly game. Yeah. You probably know that too.
I mean, I've had like racist DMs and things like that. People telling me.
Yeah, I've had some crazy DMs.
Go back to where you come from.
I've had some crazy DMs, like, sort of, from, you know, people just like, I'm thinking, how can you even possibly think that was
and to take time out of your day to go and do it as well?
Incredible.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to work hard.
Totally, yeah.
Like, so I don't really care.
Totally,
let's move on to the next item. It's not something I'm that bothered about, but I know a lot of people are, especially kids. Chocolate.
Yep.
So I've seen you definitely do some chocolate recipes before.
Yep.
I've seen you hold up a very tasty looking slab up to the camera, breaking off squares and having it, and I'm sat there thinking,
the chocolate.
I wonder how that tastes.
Oh, it's legit.
So talk to us about what goes into, ingredient-wise, carnivore chocolate, so people can understand what percentage of it is carnivore.
So it's just melted butter.
Okay.
In the pan. So you just brown the butter. So you don't like burn the butter, but you just put it on a low medium heat.
Okay.
And let it brown basically.
So it's not smoking, but it's hot.
Not smoking, but it's hot. So when it's browned, put it into a little sort of a dish. Then you use cacao powder, organic raw cacao powder usually. So make sure you get like a really good quality one.
Yeah.
Or you can get those from any, like, you know, health food shop, whatever, Holland & Barrett, whatever. Then we use the clean whole milk powder.
Okay.
So whole milk, so obviously just make sure it's like just with no.
Why powder and not actual milk then?
It's more just I found with just the consistency, it sort of just makes it a bit more sort of chocolatey in a way. It's a bit easy to use, and then we use like a raw honey as well in there.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's all it is.
So you mix the whole thing so it's even consistency.
Even consistency.
Straight in the fridge.
Put it in a mold or whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Put it in the fridge. Wow.
In the fridge. And then that's you're good to go. That's it.
That's very simple. And that takes what, 5 minutes to put together?
Again, it's like, you know, the ice cream and the chocolate, man. You've got dessert sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, literally like 5
You can have them
minutes
together as well, and you actually
mate,
almost completely.
It can be a bit dangerous that to do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It is. I mean, how good is that, James? Chocolate is insane, man. It is insane. Like it's so good.
Sell it. Why don't you sell it?
People have said that to me, man. Like, people have said that loads. Like, you know, oh, you should start your own restaurant. You should sell things. I'm just like, well, it's more. Well, I sell the cookbook.
I'd buy it.
I sell the cookbook, man. So the cookbook's all a digital product, so you can buy that. I mean, like that's what I mean. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, and it looks real legit, doesn't it? I mean, when I pull it out, it looks proper. So, but you can make it out of anything, any mold you want.
But if something like that, obviously you put it into the fridge, so it hardens up. And
freezer.
Yeah, a freezer, fine.
Yeah.
Once it is hard, can you put it in the fridge then? Can you leave it out on the worktop in a cupboard?
It will go soft. So
okay.
So it will.
Something like it can't really be sold in that case because it wouldn't.
It's going to be
transport.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because it's not going to have any crap added to it. It's not going to have any additives, preservatives, anything like that. So it will go soft fairly quick.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep. It's one of them. So it's obviously because it's not real. It's not proper chocolate, but it tastes like chocolate.
So you store it in the fridge.
I put it it's all gone, man. By the time
you don't have the storage problem.
No. Literally, if it's like just a small, it's gone pretty much quick.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
I guess, I mean, if you were going to sell it, you'd have to sell it with a cold pack.
I'd imagine so.
That's the only way.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah, I haven't really thought about selling it, to be fair.
You should look into it. There's no one does that.
No,
that's a big market.
Yeah,
not just Carnivore, but general public.
I've seen there is a brand in America who sells the healthy ice cream called ice cream for bears, and it's like similar ingredients to what I use.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's obviously because it's all really natural stuff. It's made with I think it's made with like raw milk and like raw cream and raw honey.
Whole stuff.
Raw, all the sort of stuff. So it's like, it's obviously mass produced it wise. It's going to be a lot more harder, isn't it, to like sort of mass produce. It's going to be difficult. You've probably got a hand make and batch it all up.
It will be expensive.
It's expensive. The overheads probably will be. That's why sort of not really thought. Food is just a bit sort of like the steps you have to go to for like hygiene things, and you have to do all these things, and
FBO licensing.
It's just a big thing. Like, so I thought, right, well, let's just make cookbooks, and then people can make it themselves.
maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, like, who knows? Yeah, that's the thing.
So I want to ask, instead of a specific food item now, I'd like to ask you, because you've got a lot of reels, a lot of different recipes. Obviously, you've got your cookbooks as well. If you're interested in his cookbooks, it's in his bio in the Instagram, if you want to have a look. So of all the reels that you do, which foods get the biggest traction? What's like the most popular?
Cheat meals.
Okay, so like burgers and things like that.
Burgers, pizzas, ice cream. We did one the other day, which was like a meat feast pizza.
Okay. How the hell do you do a carnivore pizza? There's like without the dough.
Well, it's a chicken bread. It's chicken based like base.
Oh, so it's the bread that you used before?
No, it's not the bread. That's not the bread. The chicken based bread is just like 2 chopped up chicken breasts with an egg.
Yeah.
And parmesan. And it's just all mixed up, and then I make it into like a pizza.
Mixed up in like a blender.
No, so you basically just cook 2 chicken breasts.
Yeah,
shred them up.
Yeah.
Get a bowl.
Yeah.
Put them in. Put crack in an egg.
Yeah.
Or 2 eggs. 2 eggs, isn't it? 2 eggs.
Yeah.
And then add parmesan. And then mix it all up, and then just basically get like a baking tray with a sheet of parchment paper. Yeah. And just press and form it into a pizza.
So it just hardens up a bit, but
then put it back in the oven.
Yeah.
And then and then you'll make it, and then it all hardens up.
Add your base.
Add your toppings.
That's pretty.
Now that is carnivore.
That's very good.
That is a pizza that people struggle to finish because it's so high in protein.
Okay, yeah.
It's crazy high. It's like with the chicken, and then obviously your toppings. You got
pepperoni or whatever.
Pepperoni, steak, whatever. Yeah. So you can put anything on there, and then loads of cheese. It's got loads of cheese on there. Yeah. It's got mozzarella
on top of that base. Do you put a cheese layer?
Yep. So we've got like a cheese sauce. We've got like mozzarella.
Yeah.
Everything you can.
So that's a bit more time then, isn't it, to prepare? Because
that's a little bit more
chicken, shred it, cook it, put the cheese on back in the oven, and then more ingredients on top.
Exactly, yeah. Some more ingredients on top. So
and you cook it again.
Yeah, cook it, and then we put it back in, just sort of like make the toppings a bit more, and the cheese all melted on there. So the other day we used like beef mince, pepperoni, which shout out to Pro Peroni, by the way. They're a really good brand, clean brand that do clean like pepperoni.
In the UK?
In the UK.
Nice.
They sell them in like Waitrose as well. They're like in the major, like they're really good.
Yeah.
Tesco's, Tesco, yeah. So they're in like the main, but they're really, really good, all clean stuff.
But if you in that recipe, if you put the chicken, you cook the chicken once, then it's good in the oven. Then with the cheese on top, it's good in the oven again. Then with the ingredient toppings on top, whatever you have, it's good in the oven again.
Only goes in 3 times.
But so why not just burn the chicken?
No, it doesn't. The chicken's really nice and moist.
What temperature are you putting that in? About 180?
That one is 200.
And it still doesn't.
It's really nice.
Black or anything like that.
No, it's amazing. It's really the consistency is really good. Because obviously it's mixed. Because obviously when you cook the chicken, it's mixed then with the egg, 2 eggs on the parmesan, which makes it a bit more sort of like it's not as firm, if you know what I mean. So it's more like a mixture.
It's a bit squidgy.
It's a bit more squidgy.
Right.
So when it's the eggs and the parmesan that bring it together.
Okay.
And then when it comes out the oven again, when you start to put the cheese sauce on, then put all your toppings on, it's not going back in the oven for long.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So it's not in there for a really
couple of minutes or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
It's not to properly cook it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Just to melt it. Okay.
So it's just like it comes out really nice and moist.
And why parmesan stinks as far as I'm.
Oh no.
Why parmesan?
So parmesan.
Is there any alternatives?
I found that just for, again, the consistency with the mixture, it just makes it, and also just, it gives it that little sort of taste. I know you probably, like, it's one of them, if you eat Parmesan,
vomit.
If you eat Parmesan just like on its own, I'm not a big fan. Like Parmigiano Reggiano, I'm not a fan. But if it's grated up like in something.
I'm not a fan of that
either.
It smells like vomit.
If you add that, you wouldn't even really taste it. Depends what toppings you add on there.
But yeah, I can still smell the vomit.
Really? Yeah.
Parmesan has something called butyric acid.
Yeah.
Which is found in vomit.
Butyrate. Yeah.
Not butyrate, butyric acid.
Oh, butyric acid, right.
And that's why it triggers the vomit smell, the sensation.
Is that right?
It's the same acid, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and ever since I was a kid, I smelled it, and I never understood why other people don't smell it.
Yeah, you just felt like, yeah.
Maybe my nose is a bit more sensitive.
Just that type of cheese, though, just
that one.
Yeah.
Everything, oils, cheddar, Stilton, whatever, I don't mind.
Yeah.
So that's probably a no from me, because unless, can you still smell the Parmesan?
No, you can't.
So it's gone.
You definitely will be able to smell.
Fine, so it's just for the consistency.
It's just of the base, and once the base is all done, then there's no more Parmesan on there.
Fine. So I might be all right with that.
So it's fine. You'll be good. Trust me. It's a game changer. But the one we did over there, we made like popcorn chicken. You've seen at KFC, like
popcorn chicken. I used to have that back in the day. Yeah.
I mean, with like a sauce and then obviously the chocolate as well. But to answer your question, like the cheat meals tend to get a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Because I tend to when I make a reel, I like to sort of like tell a story with it as well.
Yeah.
So like it was like, I used to be the guy that used to eat like Domino's, as I used to do. Like every Saturday night, I used to look forward to my Saturday night takeaway.
For me when I was in school.
Well, there you go, yeah.
Get pizza.
So like sometimes I was getting like Domino's twice a week. One on Tuesday, one on weekend. Because it was like 2 for Tuesdays, like you got a free.
Oh, 2 for Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah. I play football. I come back and like I've been 2 for Tuesday, like you get like a free one. But like it was like sort of when you relate a story to someone, they can like, oh yeah, I can remember that.
Yeah.
So it's like I can remember that like, eating that crap.
Yeah.
I used to look forward to it, probably because I was like nutrient, deficient, and also probably counting calories all week, training hard. You're deprived. So your body wants that cheat meal. It wants that fit. It's like, and you just gorge on all sorts of crap. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you'd feel like shit the next day.
Yeah.
And then it would just like, and then that'd be it. And then the cycle would repeat. You go back to your, eating not a lot, not as much as you could. Like you talked about, obviously eating to satiety, complete satiety is completely different.
Yeah.
To just eating enough to be like, okay.
Yeah.
But
and that's never a good idea.
Never ever.
No.
I found that out too. You can do it on Carnivore very easily.
Yeah.
You can just be like, I'm think you're good, but you're actually not good.
And it takes time to learn that, which is, in one of the previous.
I think so. I think some people, a little bit off topic, but I think that like people don't understand how much they have to eat sometimes.
They think it's a simple question to answer. It's actually really complex.
Very hard. Yeah.
And you never realize how complex until you've done it.
Yeah. If you say like eating till you're full, people are going to go, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Was eating till full mean?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
They just go, oh, that's easy.
I've never been really full.
No.
So they don't get it.
100%. So now I'm curious, if that's the stuff that gets the most traction, as a content creator in this space, what gets the least traction in terms of the foods?
I think anything with like kind of shock value is always going to get the most traction. So like, even like big boards of food or whatever, like obviously like just normal meals that I'd have, they tend to do well. But I always try to, put a lot of information in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you'll get ones that like, you might get the odd recipe. It just looks very basic, very simple. It won't do that well. Or, you might do something that just isn't resonating. It can be like, it can be anything. Sometimes it's a bit sporadic.
Fine.
I find that really good storytelling information. That's why I like to relate it back to myself a little bit, because I've been in there. I understand, so people can understand it more. I think that people like to relate to people.
Yeah.
And they want to be able to be like, right, well, if this guy's you know, he used to look like that or something, or and now he's changed all this stuff because he's done this. Then like, oh yeah, well I like that. I think sometimes when it's a bit more not story driven, and it's a bit more sort of just
here's some stuff,
information. It's like, and it's not like really backed up with much. It's just sort of words and just saying things. I think people might be a bit like sort of
fine.
I'm not too sure. But I mean, you know, it can depend. It can it can just depend on
same for me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, you might have it with your skincare stuff too. It just all varies.
So I'm gonna say another kind of worry that people have when they come into carnivore, and it's always oh, that's going to be really expensive. Like, because they see in the supermarket meat is pretty expensive.
No,
I know it's not. Like, I buy from Haythorne Cattle, and I got, I think it was 30 kilos of beef for a few hundred quid. I can't remember the exact amount. Like, that's nothing for 30 kilos, which is going to keep you going for such a long time.
That's what I mean,
so if someone is on a budget, what kind of tips do you have in terms of, there's a few things. Number one, in terms of where to get the stuff. And number two, I want to go into sort of examples of budget-friendly meals, but we'll start with where to get the stuff. Obviously, a supermarket, I don't think is going to be the best value for money when you're doing stuff like this. So what do you do, and what do you recommend other people do?
Well, you know, you'd be surprised. I mean, I think that like if you are on a budget, like for example, something like high-fat beef mince is your best friend. That's the cheap. It's so
mince
cheap.
Is always the cheapest.
It's crazy, like because like prices obviously have gone up recently. Like, but like if you go into a local butcher, and you build up a good relationship with your local butcher, they'll give you like high-fat mince for like, you know, it's pretty cheap. I mean, like you can get like where I get mine sometimes, it's like maybe like £4 for like 500 grams.
£8 a kilo.
So I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, like obviously I'm sorted out. I hope they're not dropped them in there a little bit. Maybe they can sort me out a little bit. But I think, I mean that for example. But I think if you build up a good relationship with them, £4 to £5 for like 500 grams.
I mean, 500 grams is probably
high fat meat.
One lot. 500 grams with like 6 eggs. It's probably like a meal for me.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's total going to be what, £8? Less than £8 for a meal.
Even like, you know, I get my eggs from the farm shop too. So it's like I can get like a tray of 30 for like £9.10, 30 eggs. So it's like if I'm having, I mean, I tend to eat like 10 to 12 a day. Like, and I have like another 500 grams of beef. So about some cheese, some raw cheese, a little bit expensive. But and then maybe whatever reason I've been having avocado. But it's not that expensive. It doesn't really, you know, maybe like £10, £9, £8.
That's
nothing.
nothing.
If you think about it, like how much, you know, like if people are spending, they're buying a meal deal. They're having, you know, buying porridge for the morning. They're probably spending like 15 quid a day. I mean, like it's all you know,
and then a load of Starbucks coffees as well, whatever they cost.
3 coffees a day. I mean, like I can't believe the prices of coffee now, man. Like,
I mean, I've never had it in my life, so I've never appreciated.
You never had coffee?
I've never coffee. In my
really?
Life. Never had tea. Never had coffee.
That's one thing I still do like.
Never had Red Bull.
I only have one a day. I put butter in it as well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
it's really, really good. I found that.
As well.
I found a little pro tip for people: if you are starting, have a butter coffee.
Okay.
To, you know, because obviously caffeine is a stimulant. Raises your cortisol.
I
think if you're having black coffee, you know, especially when you first start and you're not used to it, the stress hormones can, you know, increase a little bit. I think people might struggle with that. I have found that like adding fat to something, adding fat to coffee,
put butter in now.
I think it's a game changer.
I've heard, I don't know how true this is, but I've heard if you put, I don't remember which one, it might be beef tallow or beef dripping into coffee, it tastes really good as well.
Really?
I've never had coffee.
I might have to try.
Someone may have been taking the mic. I don't know.
People use ghee. People use.
Oh, it might be ghee.
Yeah. I don't think it's beef. I don't think it's beef tallow. I couldn't imagine that taking great.
Yeah.
Ghee's like basically the same sort of thing. But that's it's called like a bulletproof coffee. Some people add. I've seen Rich. Obviously, he talks about he doesn't have coffee either, but he used to add like MCT powder in there. MCT oil.
A lot of my patients use
coconut oil
powder.
Yeah, exactly. Which is really good.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you can use that. But adding fat to a coffee, if you are going to do it, I always recommend
That's the best way.
Yeah.
So budding relationship with bitches, I think is the best one. I appreciate a lot of people watching this maybe don't have access to a butcher if they're living a little bit more remote.
Totally.
Are there any online places that you trust to buy good quality, well priced, good value for money meats?
Well, obviously, I work with Cheshire Prime Meats.
Yeah,
they are quite expensive.
Okay.
But because they're so high quality.
Okay.
Obviously,
so you get what you pay for.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that with online butchers as well, you can buy you know they have options on there that are like, and again, it comes down to sort of like I find that a lot of people, when they eliminate a lot of the foods, they think to themselves, wow, I can actually spend so much money now.
Yeah.
When you stop having all the other stuff, it's like, well, now I've got so much money left over.
Yeah.
So I feel, it's like that. But I mean, if you're absolutely on a shoestring budget and you're not going to use an online butcher, you can go to like a supermarket and just get like, you can go to Lidl and get like really high fat mince for like £3.
Yeah.
For like £2.50 or whatever. If you are, obviously always prioritize the butchers if you can.
Yeah.
And again, like,
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. You can get like, like Rich said, chuck steak.
Yeah.
If you like, you can get some organ meat. Oh, like if you want to have a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
They're not actually like, when you all price it up. And I think that when people first start, they're not eating that much.
Yeah.
They don't, because they probably can't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to eat, as much as I can.
Yeah.
But like, me and you, for example, been doing this for years. We can probably eat a lot more.
Yeah.
Like in one sit.
And we're both training as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're active, young fit. So we can eat like £2 of steak.
Yeah.
It's not actually that.
No, I can eat 1 kilogram and I'm fine.
Easy. Yeah. I can eat like 10 eggs and like loads of meat and I'm okay. That's the thing. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
So when people are first starting, they can't eat that much.
Yeah.
So they'll really find a benefit with it.
I mean, a lot of people, let's take the average, there's a big variation, but let's say the average person, let's say 70 kilogram male in the 30s per week. If they do their shopping, they might be spending something like, I don't know, between 40 and 60 quid.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more if they go to to live in a more expensive city like London, something like that. So let's pretend they're going to spend, let's say 60 quid on their weekly shop. So that's 240 quid a month on the food. Do you think it's realistic for someone to go fully carnivore and eat till they're full every day for that price or less? If they do it right.
I think so, yeah. I think it can be, definitely. Obviously, depending on, like, this will also come back to like sort of depending on the person.
Of course, there's variation.
Yeah, exactly, there's variation.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can, and also you can mix it up. So you can mix up the meats. You can get bacon. You can get chicken thighs.
Yeah.
Things like that aren't as expensive. Obviously, like the red meats are always going to be a bit more expensive
for sure.
But yeah, like for things like eggs, fish, you can get some, things like that. And again, like, if you really want to go super, super strict, I don't think, like, it depends where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You don't have to go super, super, super strict to start, depending on what your, background is.
Yeah.
But I think people can do it, without a doubt. I think if you really honed in and just I think it might be a bit difficult with 40 quid maybe, but like 60, I think 60 maybe, 50, I think beyond that, I think,
which is not a ridiculous amount, considering the cost of living is always going up wherever you are.
That's the thing. I think the perspective is everything. Obviously, I know everyone's in a different, difficult, different situation.
Yeah.
And, people might have kids, they might have all these sort of things. And, if you're just prioritizing yourself, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But you can definitely, what I always say is you can't put a price on your health.
I 100% agree.
I think it's the most.
How much would you pay to, be around for your grandkids, play with them instead of looking at them through a window in a wheelchair?
How many times do you hear people say, like, like if they got ill and they fell ill, they're in hospital, what they would give just to have their health back? Yeah. And it's like, you would give anything to have your health back.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you look at it from that perspective, it's like, well, how
good perspective.
It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So I think if you just reframe your mindset a little bit, think of it like that. So actually, spending this much money on meat, but it's going to make me feel like this.
Yeah.
Rather going spending, 200 quid on a night out.
Yeah.
And
I'm losing the next.
Not opposed to nights out, by the way. You can do what you want, but like if you want to go out and have like 10 Jaeger bombs.
Yeah.
How are you going to feel for the next 3 days? Let alone like the next day. So you've got to look at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I agree. And so now let's go on to example meals. Now I'm going to give you specific criteria for these meals, and I want you to kind of try to think also on the spot how you would do it. So again, let's stick with the 70 kilogram male, roughly mid-30s.
Yep.
And they're training. So let's say they need twice that number in grams of protein. So they need 140 grams of protein.
Yeah.
And they need to hit that every day.
Right.
And their budget, let's say for the month in food, is like 300 quid, roughly speaking.
Yeah.
So can you give me some examples of meals where they get that 140 grams of protein and how much fat comes with it at the same time?
Easy. I'd say 500 grams of like high fat beef mince is about 100 grams of protein.
Okay.
90 to 100 grams, depending on,
the variation.
Yeah. And then you could do that with 6 to 8 eggs.
Okay.
That's another 30 to 40 grams of protein.
Eggs,
That's like, that gives you 140, 150 grams of protein. And like, I think the protein thing is interesting because it's like, so you go off kilograms, like per, obviously, a lot of people go off pounds, don't they? So they go off like, so it's like,
it's a rough.
But I think if you, exactly, yeah. So, but I think if you're getting anywhere from like that range, so say if it's like 140 to 180 maybe or something like that,
it's just fine.
I mean, you are bang on. And I think if you eat the fat with it as well, so like, but I don't think you have to go. I think depending on how active you are, for example, I probably need a bit more fat because I'm active. Same with you.
Yeah.
I think if you're not that active, you don't need as much fat. But as long as you eat like the fatty cuts and just eat the fat and don't trim the fat off.
Yeah.
Like you eat the whole egg, you eat the yolk, you fry it, and if you're using butter, using a bit of tallow to cut with. Beef ripping, by the way, is super cheap as well. You can get beef ripping so cheap.
Yeah.
So like if you're using that, that's good. As long as you're not going over the top on fat.
Right.
Like, if you've I find that people who need to do that, like usually it's 80-20, they have like an issue to heal. A lot of women tend to aim towards the higher fat side.
Yeah.
Because I think guys can we can get away with being a bit more leaner. We can eat more of the protein.
Yeah.
And then just assess how you feel. But I think that you can easily do that.
Okay.
Pretty cheap for like 140 to 150 grams of protein. It's not that.
So let's pretend you can't have mince. Let's say they have the mince, but because it's cheap, they've got quite a lot, and they're getting a little bit bored of it. They don't mind the eggs and everything, but I think everyone knows mince is the cheapest cut.
Yeah.
But for a bit of variation, what would you say then to get that 140?
I think you can get like chicken thighs.
No, they're not too expensive. Yeah, they're not that expensive, to be fair.
Not crazy. Not crazy. You can get chicken breast. You could just add loads of fat to it. You could just add like loads of butter to it.
Yeah.
Bacon's like, I don't find it's that crazy expensive.
Okay. Streaky bacon, I think, is the higher fat.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I think you can get the bacon and eggs. That's a classic combo.
Yeah. But there's less protein. You're gonna have much more bacon.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Because the protein.
Yeah, it depends how much you want to eat. But I would say, like, for example, I'd always, like we said at the start, I'd always advise people to start with the red meat first. Obviously, you can get like chuck steaks, things like that.
Yeah. And would you say that's the cheapest red meat cut?
Probably,
as an actual cut, not mince.
Probably, yeah. I'd say so. Like, sort of that sort of cut. Obviously, compared to like ribeyes and stuff.
Yeah.
Opposite
end of the spectrum.
But obviously, it also depends on where you get it from.
Yeah.
So if you go into like a high-end farm shop, or something like, you're going to be spending a lot, a bit more money.
Yeah.
If you can go to Costco, you can get whole cuts of meat. You can buy whole cuts of rump and that, or if you want to be a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And you can just portion them out. That'll last you a whole week. So.
And have you ever? So that's answered that question. I want to ask you another thing now, which you just mentioned nicely. Costco.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen many videos.
Costco's like the place to go for films.
Yeah. People get massive joints.
Yeah.
And then I've seen videos on YouTube where they show you how to butcher it and everything, get rid of
people love Costco
skin and things.
Oh, it's amazing.
Have you bought meat from Costco?
Yeah, loads.
And what's I'm thinking it's Costco. Surely it can't be that great. But what's it like?
I rate it, mate.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So give us an idea of joints that you've bought.
Yeah.
And I don't expect you to remember exactly, but rough idea of ranges in terms of what those big joints cost and
I usually
what you get out of them.
When I was buying them from there, I was getting like ribeye, like whole cuts of ribeye.
Yeah.
And they were really good. They were like really, really good.
What kind of price range you're looking at?
I think for like probably a 1.3 kilo whole thing, it wasn't that bad. It was like probably 80 quid, 70 quid.
80 quid to 1.3 kilos?
Yeah.
So that's only about sometimes one meal for me.
Well, yeah, actually, no, it can't be that.
It can't be.
No, it was like, sorry, no, what I'm talking about. No, it was like 3 kilos.
Oh, 3 kilos.
3 and a bit kilos. Yeah, it was like 3 to 4 kilos. Yeah,
okay,
I don't know why I said that. It's like 3 to 4 kilos for like, something like 70, 80 quid.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was doing that at one point, like pretty much every week.
Yeah.
Or I started using like different, avenues, different buttons, different.
And did you have to spend a lot of time preparing it, getting rid of the connective tissue?
That's the only problem with it though. It does have a lot of connective tissue, a lot of gristle on there.
Yeah.
So obviously it's more expensive to buy the individually cut steaks.
Yeah.
I've tried those as well and they are unreal.
From Costco?
Yeah. I mean, I'll give credit where it's due with them. Like, I'm not just going to bash them, but because they are good. I mean, and they do like fatty cuts as well. But yeah, it's can be a little bit, obviously the connective tissue, the gristle. Sometimes you'll get like, they're not as even. So you'll get like one side that's a bit lower.
Oh, okay.
One that's a bit higher.
Papers.
Yeah. So you have to be like sort of good with the knife sort of thing, sort of get them all leave them. But I mean, like, they're not that bad because a lot of people go there for value for money. Obviously,
of course, it's Costco, isn't it? Yeah.
How good the meat is. Obviously, you don't really know. Obviously, butchers are always going to be your mainstay. It's mainly because you know exactly where they're coming from. You can trace it back.
But it's the price, isn't it? I think for people on a budget,
it's really good.
From what you're saying, Costco is actually pretty viable.
Again, it's like it's like you think when you don't really think about it too much. I think if you just eat the meat, you don't know where it's from. And it tastes unreal. You'd be like, oh yeah, it was great.
It's fine.
You feel good. It's not like a big deal. You don't have to like, worry too much massively, especially in the start.
Yeah.
Where it's coming from hugely.
Yeah.
Just sort of focus on just eating the meat.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best thing you can possibly eat.
Yeah.
So if you just focus on that, you'll be fine. But yeah, you can get some good deals. I mean, people like whole Instagrams are like based in Costco.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
seen videos of it on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Where they go there, it's always like I've done a few videos in there too. It's always a good like draw for people to come. Yeah. Because people just love like comparing things,
bargains and things.
Bargains. Yeah, people love bargains.
When you got that whole joint of ribeye, how long did it take you to actually prepare?
It didn't take me that long. It probably took me like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
And that's to get rid of silver skin, excess. I
tend to not get rid of it. I just
you don't mind the silver skin?
Not massively.
It's like chewing on string for me.
Well, I mean, I'm not massive. If it's like glaringly back,
on the top,
I'll cut it off. But it's not usually horrendous. So like, it won't take me that long. I just like sort of when I have done it in the past. And then I'll just get it. Or when I've like cut them up individually, I'll get them out and then like remove it on when I'm about to cook it. If that makes sense.
Fine.
I'll do something like that.
Yeah. And I've seen videos where they do get that joint, whether it's brisket joint, ribeye joint, rump, whatever, and there's actually quite a thick amount of fat. And in the videos I've seen, there's these people, they basically take all the fat off. Like, why would you want to do that? Am I missing something?
I wouldn't take the fat off, no.
Yeah, you won't. That's really nutritious. It's got great nutrition.
If it's really good fat, if it's like that real, it's not silver skin, if it's just like marbled fat.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, as in like a big layer of fat.
The layer of, I would never do that.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I thought I was missing something.
No, I would keep that. If you want to, I mean, if they take it off and cook it separately, I suppose you could render it down.
True, yeah.
You could render it down to tallow.
Or just get it to be crispy.
But I love it when a steak's got that fat cut on the end. Mate.
And when the fat is nice and crispy on the edge as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm getting hungry.
Make it, I'm saying, mate.
Yeah.
Especially some good steak around here, I tell you that.
So in terms of the recipes, you talked about your ebooks, your recipe books. Tell us about what kind of different ebooks you've got, what kind of different recipes that you've got that are interested.
So I've got 2 cookbooks. I've got like, the first one I did was like more carnivore, like more stricter carnivore based. Okay. The one I've just brought out recently, the volume 2, is more sort of animal based. It's got like 70 brand new ones, like carnivore / animal based recipes. That's where like the chocolate comes into it. I've got like, blackberry milkshakes and a bit of berries in there and different sort of variations, strawberries in there, and it's just got a few different ingredients people would,
But all still whole foods.
Everything, my biggest principle in everything is what I always say is like real nutrient dense whole foods and no processed garbage. Yeah. That's basically what I always say.
Yeah.
So that's my ethos of what I always say. So the new one's a lot more sort of broader for a lot of people who want to who are either more experimental on the journey, or if they do follow this sort of lifestyle, but they want to experiment with different foods,
or maybe they're transitioning it,
or just general people in general who want to try some sort of healthier alternatives to like, the normal. They don't want to have some crap, food and just buy in. So they like to cook a little bit. They've got, whatever. So that's more broader. But aside from those, I've got an online course as well.
Okay.
An 8-week online course.
Yeah.
It takes them on a journey from like starting point.
In terms of like cooking techniques and
no, this is all just like all through carnivore. So, so this takes them on helps them start carnivore.
Yeah.
Every single week is a different thing.
Okay.
So they learn all about carnivore, everything, all the principles behind it, a lot of the sciencey stuff.
Yeah.
They have like workout plans, they have like daily steps, targets to do, daily goals, all designed to sort of transform their body in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So and by the end of it, then they can sort of decide whether they want to stay on track.
Yeah.
And I run that in my school community as well.
Yeah.
By the way, so if you want to get into it. But yeah, so people get involved and they post like, transformations, how they're getting on, all sort of stuff. It's really cool. We've got a good little community in there.
So how do people find the ebooks? How do they find the school community?
So you just go to the links in my bio, my Instagram.
Yeah.
It's all on there. You get all the list in there. So
I'll put a link to Cam's Instagram in the description below. But it is Coach Carnivore Cam, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. On all the socials.
Cool. Anything else anyone you want to do a shout out for at all while we're here?
I think we've probably shouted out quite a few.
Quite a lot. Yeah, we need some commission from the people that we shout out for.
If you make some money off me, you know where it came from. Well, no, I think it's just more of a shout out to all the people that are in like this health space. Yeah, I think that I think the problem is nowadays that a lot of people are against each other, even in this similar sort of industry. Yeah, I think if your goal is to help people like in the carnivore space, the low carb keto space, even the animal based, obviously the animal based space, the whole food space, I think everyone's goal is to help people get healthy.
Yeah,
and I think we're all like, we might have different opinions. I think there's loads of different people with different opinions.
Yeah.
But I think if you're all under one umbrella,
yeah,
your goal is to help people ultimately, you know, be as healthy as possible. And that doesn't have to be dogmatic. It doesn't have to be sort of one eye, you know, this is the only way to do it. Like there's nuance to it. But I think everyone who's in that space, keep doing what you're doing, because I think that it's important to, you know, that's how people are going to get healthy. I think that people get information.
Being willing to discuss things, if you know,
willing to discuss, have debates, you know, have disagreements are okay.
Yeah. No, if there was never a disagreement, there would never have been a discovery of anything.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I think that's so I think we're all in the same boat.
Well, Cam, it's been brilliant. Thank you very much for coming down.
Appreciate it.
And maybe we can do a sort of live cooking video one day if I come up to
you come to Manchester, we'll do something. Yeah, we do do all sorts of lifestyle stuff and
nice
do some content. Yeah, cool, man.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.